Hey guys, my name is Ashley and I'm finally getting around to making my YouTube channel. Um, Obviously this is my first video, so bear with me. Um, Excuse the congestion and the crappy lighting and the glare on my glasses and everything. I'm not really feeling too well, but I wanted to get this video made and up. I kind of wanted to make this channel originally because I started bodybuilding and I kind of figured it'd be a good way to promote myself and get myself out there and I guess kind of show what I'm doing on a daily basis with my fitness and maybe help other people out who are kind of in the same position that I'm in, just starting out. But then as I was thinking about it, I realized that it's more than just fitness. It really is my life. So why not make a YouTube channel pretty much following what I do on a daily basis? So while a big chunk of it will be fitness, it also will be like other random videos about how I'm doing, like what's going on in my life. I don't know, stupid videos of me trying to sing or anything really will go on my channel. First, a little bit about me. I'm 26. I live in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. It's about 40 minutes right outside of Philadelphia, which is actually where I was born and grew up for the younger part of my life. I have a beautiful 2-year-old daughter. Her name is Michaela, and I am engaged to the most amazing man ever. His name is Mike, and we've been engaged since Mother's Day of last year, but we've been together for almost 3.5 years, which actually us being together kind of brings me to the point of this first video. This first video, I kind of want to make it about, I guess, tell a little bit about myself and my story, where I started and how I got here to where I am. That way, hopefully, anybody who's watching this, hopefully somebody is watching this, will know where I started. Hopefully, somebody can relate to it and it'll help somebody out. So, here goes. As I said a few seconds ago, I was born in Philly. I didn't really live there long enough, I guess, to kind of know exactly like what goes on around there. I ended up moving to Telford, PA, which is about 15 minutes from Quakertown, where I live now, and that's pretty much where I grew up. I have an older sister and 3 younger sisters, and growing up, I mean, it's not like I had a crappy childhood. I had a pretty good childhood. It was harder for me than it was on some growing up in the area I did and the way I did. The school that I went to was predominantly white, and I'm mixed. My dad is black and my mom is white. So when I was younger, it was a lot of being called an Oreo or just being made fun of because my dad was black and my mom was white. And then it was kind of funny as I got older, like 10th grade on, people thought it was like the coolest thing ever to try and guess what I was, or everybody wanted to be like, I guess, sort of that. I don't know, that was at least my experience with it, the people that I ran into. Come middle school is kind of where things kind of changed a little bit for me. I was always active in school, always played sports. Didn't have like a set group of friends that I hung out with. I kind of hung out with like a little bit of like every group, so I wasn't really like into one certain clique. But I would say 7th, 8th grade is that was like the first time I tried smoking weed. And I fell in love with it. I love the way it made me feel. Of course, like anybody that age, I wanted to fit in. So I just like, I was like, oh, cool. Like, this is awesome. Like, people like me. People like me this way, like like what it's made me. So, like, why not keep doing it? So, ninth grade came and I was still smoking weed a little bit. And I had a pretty good group of friends. And then it kind of all went downhill. It kind of like, I guess, ruined my freshman year. My older sister ended up getting into a fight at the bus stop with a girl that I was actually really good friends with. And my dad, raising me the way he did, always said, if one of your sisters gets into a fight and they come home bruised and beat up and you're not, then I'm going to beat your ass. So, of course, I'd rather get into a fight with somebody else than have my dad beat my ass. I got enough of that already from beating the crap out of my own sisters. So, I threw everything off. It was dark and snowing. We're waiting for the bus at like 6 in the morning. And, I started like kicking her in the head and punching her and stuff, yelling at her to get off my sister. And she was pretty well known with the people that I hung out with and spoke to. So, that from that day on, me helping my sister, I guess, like, fight this girl, like, ruined my reputation with, like, all the freshmen and everybody, like, people that I didn't even know. So, like, from that point on, it was sort of, like, me getting bullied, me having to defend myself, like, on a daily basis from, like, random girls, like, throwing stuff at me. And at that point, I never really, like, dealt with being bullied. So it was kind of crazy because I didn't know how mean, like, girls could be. Like, girls are brutal, especially at that age, like, when you only know who you are and you just want to fit in so badly. So it kind of sucked because it was, like, a bunch of kids from, like, other schools that I had never seen. So, like, their first impression is, like, oh, everybody's making fun of her or bullying her. So, like, I don't want to be an outcast. I'm going to do the same thing. So I kind of just got bullied on a lot. And that's kind of when everything changed for me in, like, my high school career. That end of that year, I started skipping school, skipping class, getting detention left and right, fighting, cursing whoever out for whatever reason, not caring, of course, like, smoking weed. And from then on, it was just, that was who I was. I was a sarcastic smartass. I thought it was funny to bully other people. And I think looking back, it was my defense mechanism. I didn't want to be bullied, so I bullied others. Which obviously, looking back now, probably wasn't the smartest decision. But at the time, that's what I knew. That's what I thought was okay. So it was a lot of smoking weed, bullying other people, skipping class, talking back to teachers, blah, blah, blah. It was, like, literally the same thing day in and day out. And of course, I still played sports and everything like that. So when I was 16, I'm going to say my sophomore year, maybe the beginning of my junior year, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And for those of you that don't know it, it is an intestinal disorder. It's an autoimmune disease. And it attacks, like, your small intestine, your large intestine, your colon, all of that. And so when I have, like, a flare-up is what they call it. It's like internal bleeding, ulcers in my stomach, but then I also get ulcers all in my mouth. I usually lose a ton of weight because my stomach hurts so bad that I'm afraid that, like, eating is going to hurt it. So I usually end up getting really sick, end up getting hospitalized. And the first time I was hospitalized, I had never had pain medicine, like, nothing other than Tylenol. And they gave me Dilaudid through an IV. And for those of you that don't know what that is, Dilaudid is stronger than morphine. And imagine me at, like, 80 some pounds, 16 years old, never had anything but Tylenol, and they give me Dilaudid through an IV. It knocked me out, knocked me on my ass. And of course, yeah, it felt good. And never had an issue with it because I only got it when I was in the hospital, like whenever I was hospitalized. So I never had an issue. They never sent me home with anything. But as the years went on, it got worse and worse. And so at the age of 19, at that time, I was starting my first semester at Temple University. And they started sending me home with pain medicine. And right away, it was addiction. I had no, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know it was a thing and that people had issues with it. I just knew that I liked how that medicine made me feel. It made the pain go away. It kind of took me out of myself, and I didn't have to deal with anything. And so, on top of like the horrible drinking problem that I had, I ended up with an opiate addiction. I was drinking to black out, and if I wasn't drinking to black out, I was taking like pill after pill after pill, however many pills, along with what I was drinking, so that I could feel the way I wanted to feel. And in the beginning, it wasn't that bad. I was fortunate and never had to like, I guess, steal from anybody or steal money to purchase like pills to like keep my addiction going because I had a prescription. But fast forward a few years, I'm going to school in Jenkintown, and it spun out of control. I was telling teachers that I was like making up like crazy stories so that teachers like weren't questioning why I was dipping out in like the middle of class, or like why I wasn't having my work done. It like really changed me. It made me a different person. I was fighting with people left and right. I was paranoid all the time. I thought people were talking about me all the time. The guy who I was talking to, if I didn't think that, if I got scared that he like didn't want to be near me anymore, didn't want to be with me, I would like make up stories so that he would say, oh my gosh, like I can't leave her right now, she needs me, so he would stay with me. I even went as far as to say that I had cancer so that I wouldn't get in trouble for missing class or for not having my work done, or so that I would get attention from people, like the attention that I was seeking from everybody. Like I became like a horrible person. I was like a scummy person. And I needed help. I didn't know how to ask for help. My little sister had gone through the same thing, and I didn't want my parents to react the same way that they reacted when she came out and said she needed help. So, I stuck with my addiction. I would wake up in the morning and I would sit on the edge of my bed with those pills in my hand, and I would just shake and I would cry because I was withdrawing and my body felt like shit. And I had a million things going through my head and I couldn't focus and I didn't know what to do. But I knew that I didn't want to feel that way. So in the end, I ended up taking those pills. It took me out of myself. And eventually it led to a lot of other health problems, kidney infections, like severe kidney infections where they thought like I needed surgery and everything. I ended up having issues with my teeth and stuff. It made the Crohn's 10 times worse. Like nobody wanted to be around me anymore because I was like this disgusting person. I was a stick too. I looked like a skeleton, and I didn't think I had a problem. I thought I looked great. I thought it was everybody else. Like there was no reason that people should be like treating me the way they were. And eventually I had to leave school, and I was hospitalized for 3 weeks. I spent my 23rd birthday in the hospital. And my GI doctor comes in the room and says, Ashley, I think we made a mistake giving you pain medicine outside of the hospital. I think you have a dependency. And at that moment, he said what I've been wanting to say for 4 years. And it was in front of my dad and it was in front of my younger sister. And I just broke down and I started crying. Finally, somebody said it. And now I can get the help that I need. My dad sees that I really do have an issue. I can finally admit that I know I have an issue. And it was just it was so scary, but it was a breath of fresh air. I can finally get help. And of course I was hesitant. I didn't want to go to a rehab. I didn't want to be that girl and have people judging me and talking about me. Because until that point, nobody knew that I had an addiction problem. Nobody knew I had an alcohol problem. And so, they gave me a number. It was supposed to be pain management. Well, it's pain management, all right. I called the number the next day after I got out of the hospital, and it was a number to Penn Foundation, a rehab facility. They're inpatient. They told me to pack a bag because I may be staying. And at that point, I was like, well, what the hell do I have to lose? I know I need help. It's either this or continue to kill myself. So I ended up spending, I think, almost a month in rehab, detoxing off of all the drugs and the alcohol and getting clean and getting to relearn who I am and what my purpose is and what I want out of life. And after I got out, I was home for 3 days, and then I went to Florida. I went to a halfway house in Florida for about a month, and then I came home. And it was hard. It was hard starting over. It had been so long without anything in my system to motivate me to do anything, that I didn't know what to do. I was lazy. I was so lazy that all my bags and everything and all my clothes from coming home were just laying on my bed, and I laid on top of it. I was so lazy. I didn't have a job for the first few months. I did nothing but go to meetings. I don't know. I didn't have a life. I was very fortunate though. The one person that I got to see speak while I was in rehab, his name was Mike, and he is now my fiance. I had the pleasure of seeing him speak or hearing him speak when I was in rehab, and it was weird. I didn't know who he was, but I knew there was something special about him. I knew that I wanted to know who he was. And turns out he was friends with my little sister, who was also in the rooms, and she was supposed to introduce us. Well, she's horrible at doing things like that, so I ended up stealing his number out of her phone and texting him myself. And we got to hang out the night before I left for Florida, and I kind of thought that was going to be the end of it. But somehow we kept it going. We talked the entire time that I was in Florida. We would FaceTime. I even remember I sang to him over FaceTime. Corny, I know, but he asked me to be his girlfriend 30 seconds before the ball dropped, because I spent Christmas and New Year's in Florida as well. 30 seconds before the ball dropped, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and we've been dating ever since. I came home to him. I ended up moving in with him when we were together, I think, for 3 months, and I think we were together, for not even 5 or 6 months, and that's when I got pregnant with our daughter. And that's when I realized I could no longer be a lazy bum. I had to get my shit together. So, I went out and I got a job, and life happened, and she was finally born, and that brings me to where I am now. I'm in school right now to get my dental hygiene degree. We're in the process of getting ready to move. My daughter just turned 2, March 2nd, and I've been training with my coach. He's an amazing coach since September. I'll be competing in my first bodybuilding competition and probably the end of August. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'm still clean. I have 3 years and 4 months. God willing, I will have another day tomorrow. But yeah, that's my story. Being clean has really afforded me a life beyond my wildest dreams. I never thought I'd get to go back to school. Never thought I would find my soulmate. Never thought in a million years I would have a kid right now. And I never thought that I'd be happy. I know what my purpose is in life now, and it's to help others who are struggling like I was, whether it's with addiction or whether they want a career in fitness. I want to help. I want to do what I can for anybody listening, anybody who will hopefully eventually watch this video. I know it's a very long video, but it's kind of the way I wanted to start out my channel. So yeah, I don't know exactly when I'll be posting, like, I guess, like, video after video, like a set schedule, but just be on the lookout for the next video. It will be a fitness video. It'll probably be a video, my glute exercise, all about making that booty pop. So, that'll probably be my next video, but, if you made it to this point, thank you so much for taking 20 some minutes out of your life to watch this video. I really appreciate it. This channel means a lot to me. And hopefully, I'll get to know some of you out there watching it. If you guys want me to make a certain video about, a certain topic, or if there's questions that you guys have, please feel free to let me know. I'll talk to you guys soon then. See ya.